Hi everybody, I believe we are live. There's always that little lag. And there we are officially live. So, there we go. So, everybody, welcome to Fireside with Spirit. It's been a while since we've been live on Facebook, and so whether you are joining this video live through Facebook, the replay, or on YouTube, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here, and just know that no matter when or how you're watching this, there is something in this video for you, because spirit guides know who is on, they know who's going to be on, and spirit guides know exactly what you need when you need it. So for this week, we are going to be working with 3 cards from the Psychic Tarot deck by John Holland. So if you're on YouTube, you're going to notice that the dates of this are approximately the following Monday, which is going to be, let's see, the 28th through September, this is a kind of a spontaneous live, so I'm just going to take a quick little peek here. August 28th through September 3rd. But just know that this could overlap a little bit with this week especially. Some of this might show up for you a little sooner if you're seeing this sooner. Some of this may continue on for up to 2 more weeks, what you're going to hear in this video. Mercury is retrograde right now, and it's a pretty heavy one. I've been already feeling this really heavy Mercury retrograde energy. So have a lot of the people I've encountered. Venus is retrograde. So before I show you the cards for this week, I just want to deliver this message here that this double retrograde is a doozy, because now, as many of you already know, Mercury retrograde can cause fuzziness, lethargy, confusion, more issues than normal with technology, disagreements, misunderstandings, right? Well, Venus is known as the planet of love, and so when Venus is retrograde, what that can lead to is generally a feeling of disconnect and feeling unloved, which is both false and true. I'm going to get to that in a little bit here with the cards. Before I interpret these cards for you, I'm going to show them to you as a practice to help you tune into your intuition. So whether you're on here with me live, because I don't think Facebook shows me exactly how many people are on, so whether you're on live with me on Facebook, the replay, or YouTube, what I'm going to encourage you to do right now, right in this very moment, is take a couple of deep breaths, quiet your mind, and just tune in and feel into what you observe within yourself when I hold up each of these cards, because many of you are going to be drawn primarily to just one card. Some of you might notice that you're drawn to 2 of them. Just know this, there are 3 cards, and while yes, you're going to be drawn strongly to 1 or 2 of them, the video as a whole is reads like a story, and there is something for you in all of it. So I would encourage you not to be too hasty to sign off early, because you may miss a really cool message. So with all of that being said, and we are working with the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck by John Holland this week. Haven't used this one in a long time. So here is card number 1. Here is card number 2 right here, card number 2. And here is card number 3. So while I'm giving you another minute or so to tune into what you feel on the cards, I want to talk a little bit about what was just coming up about Mercury and Venus being retrograde at this time. So a moment ago, the angels had me deliver this message that there very well can be this energy going around where we are feeling unloved, and that it's both false and true in that order. And notice the reverse of that order. Well, the falseness, what they would like me to say in regard to the falseness, is that relationships that you're in which you know deep down and you feel that the person does love you and you love them, you know this even if right now you're feeling very bickery maybe or disconnected. But if you know that's a good solid relationship, then this temporary feeling of being unloved or less loving toward the other person is false. With all of that being said, any relationship or relationships right now that have been doubtful, or maybe something is new and you've been questioning it, or a new person that you don't know well and you've thought, I wonder where this is going. So in other words, any relationships or situations that haven't felt well established or secure up until now, during this double retrograde period, in those situations or relationships, if you're feeling like there's just not a lot of love or trust, then what this retrograde is showing you is the truth of that situation and ultimately where that relationship or situation is or is not going. So with all of that being said, I think the order of the cards here is really cool because, again, I don't make this stuff up. I channel it. I am telepathic, so I hear what the angels and the spirit guides are saying, and I give you the messages. Card number 1 is heart chakra, which makes a lot of sense given everything that just came through with Venus being retrograde, which can lead to a feeling of being unloved, less loving, cut off, fearful with others. With Mercury retrograde, where things are just fuzzy, people are talking to each other, aren't understanding each other. I'm thinking of that song Titanium, David Guetta, some of you might know it. One of the lines in that song is talking loud, not saying much. So that can happen when people are just bickering, arguing, frustrated, upset, you name it. So the advice that the angels have for us this week is to work on your heart chakra. Now, how can we do that? The heart chakra is so often associated with the color green. So one wonderful way you can open and balance your own heart chakra, card number 1, folks, is to surround yourself with the color green. And hopefully I'm doing a good job of that by wearing some Amazonite on my necklace with this nice pale green color near my heart. So that's another way. If you've got green jewelry, wear it over your heart. I also like to wear labradorite that is multicolored, but has the piece that I have on a chain has a nice green hue to it. So that's one way. Mudras, these are just a few. There are so many ways. This mudra, left hand, right hand over, held over the heart, setting the intention to open and balance that heart chakra. Heart chakra meditations are out there. There are just so many. There are just too many techniques to name them all right now. So working on that heart chakra, that heart center, is really important right now for everybody, given the energies, the universal and the planetary energies. And one additional thing that the angels want me to add to that right now is that in addition to Venus and Mercury being retrograde, we have a super blue moon happening at the end of August. So, just briefly to kind of get into the practical application of this, full moons tend to pull things up, pull up the high tides, pull up our emotions, our fears, our joys, our strengths, and our weaknesses within our own personalities, within our relationships, all of it. Our careers, if you're in any way near a crossroad or a fork in the road with your career, you can bet that this month is going to pull up those doubts, those uncertainties, those insecurities. That's often when people are feeling that way, like, where am I going? I'm so unsure. Great time to get a psychic reading, because that's what that psychic reading can help you figure out. So keep this in mind with the full moon coming at the end of the month. And if you're feeling unsure and unclear and wonky, the angels right now are saying that the best thing you can do is write, contemplate, meditate, rest. Don't make any firm decisions impulsively unless it is simply taking action on a decision that you've been making for quite some time or previously felt that you were going to make. But do your best to avoid any hasty or rash decisions at this time. So let's move on. Card number 1 was our heart chakra card using our Psychic Tarot deck by John Holland. Card number 2, interesting order here. The 3 of swords, I'm going to call it 3 of swords. Heartache and loss. Heartache and loss. I'm drawn to the triangle shape that you can see with this lovely lady's arms to her shoulders. So she's making a triangle shape around her heart. So again, we have that message of work on your heart chakra. If you've experienced betrayal, if you've experienced pain and loss, work on that heart center. It is the best thing you can do for yourself. Practice self-compassion, self-love, self-care. And if you don't really know how to do all that, simply start by setting the intention. Also, self-forgiveness. People who have been abused, betrayed, manipulated often are too hard on themselves, saying, why was I such a fool? Whatever, what have you. So be forgiving and gentle with yourself. Card number 2, people. Again, this card in some decks is often, not always, but will come up when we have a situation where there's a love triangle. Again, the triangle shape from this lovely lady's shoulders to her arms. Love triangle, meaning if you're in a romantic relationship right now and something doesn't feel right, if you've been wondering, is this person unfaithful? This card will often come up as a way of saying, yes, you should trust your intuition, that there is deception and there is betrayal or some sort of unfaithfulness happening in this relationship. So if that's any of you, if you've been asking yourself this question, unfortunately, don't shoot me, I'm just the messenger, but this card very well may be coming up to say, yes, you should trust your gut. If you think your partner might be cheating, lean into that, feel into that, see what you can figure out. So moving on, that's the worst part of tonight's message. Glad we got that out of the way. But, truly, life isn't all butterflies and rainbows. That's the thing. Let's look at card number 3. Now, the red border is our practical. We've got the 6. And I like that it's coming up in this deck, and I will explain the reasons why. Material and spiritual prosperity. Now, this would be akin to the 6 of Pentacles in traditional tarot. In most decks, we're going to find this generally fixed meaning that the 6 of Pentacles means giving or receiving financial help. This deck carries a little bit of a different meaning, and I love that. So, and how do I know that? I can feel the energy. I have several different tarot decks. They all have their own sort of style and interpretation of tarot, while paying homage to what tarot really was when it was created, and this deck is no exception to that. So with that being said, we think about the traditional meaning of our 6 of coins or pentacles or earth as financial help, practical material help. Now, the message card number 3, people, if you have been giving financial help to someone or receiving practical financial help, this is a very positive card because it means that the end of that is in sight. If we look at this gentleman, he's got a strong back. He's gazing out on a view that's very balanced, very symmetrical. The water is very calm. It's not tumultuous. We look at all of that. So he's feeling very confident. He's on what appears to be maybe a deck or a balcony. He's taking a big breath. If you look at his body language, he's taking a big inhale. There's water, but you know something? He's not just jumping in. He's going to get in that water when he's ready because he's going to be prepared, and he is grounded. That water is not going to overtake him. So if you think about that feeling, being able to move through water without being overtaken, that is very similar to the feeling of financial security and independence. So card number 3, people, if you have been depending on financial help, you're tired of it, you want to be independent, that's happening soon for you. Also, card number 3, people, if you've been helping someone else financially, this card would be an indication that that person or people are going to find their way, and your intense financial assistance is soon to be no longer needed. So I hope these messages are really helpful this week for all of you. As always, if you're feeling like you're at a crossroads or unsure or foggy, whatever, reach out for a reading. That's exactly the time that readings can be the most helpful. You can go to my website, heatherlcoleman.com. You can direct message me through Facebook, Heather Coleman. And until then, everyone, enjoy these final weeks of what is often called summer, especially for parents before school starts just after Labor Day. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Namaste.